Hello and welcome to Midday Discourse on Global Television. My name is Samuel Odi and we're live from the nation's capital, Abuja. You know, there's been a whole lot of controversies going on about Yahaya Bello, the EFCC and all, but let me make some ground, foundations. Just for those of us that are just sitting and are not aware of what has been happening for the past couple of days. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has declared the former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, wanted. Yes, he has been declared wanted by the EFCC for alleged crime. The commission issued the public notice declaring Mr. Bello wanted after he failed to appear for his arraignment of 80 billion money laundering charges scheduled to take place at the Federal High Court in Abuja on Thursday. The public is hereby notified that Yahaya Adoza Bello, the former governor of Kogi State, whose photograph appears above on the screen currently, is wanted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in connection with alleged cases of money laundering to the total sum of $80.2 billion. So all of this now has been ongoing for the couple of days. The EFCC trying to get him arrested, and a whole lot of stories have been going on around that. Him not showing up in court. There have been court orders and counter-court orders starting from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and yesterday, which was Thursday, which Yahaya Bello was supposed to appear in court. He didn't appear in court and then led to EFCC declaring him wanted, as you can see on the screen. The EFCC is finally bringing Mr. Bello to trial, accusing him of money laundering involving over 80 billion after years of burning searchlights on him and family members. The commissioner's long-term investigation of the former governor has resulted in the 10 billion money laundering charges it instituted against his nephew Ali Bello and a co-defendant in 2002. So all of this has been going on for the past years. So, like he stated, the Nigerian government is operating the same government as the Americans, which states that you can't. It states here in Nigeria, that you can't arrest or persecute a sitting governor who has immunity. So now his immunity lifeline has been executed and then has been exhausted. So he cannot, escape the law because no one is above the law. So now the EFCC are arraigning him, trying to get him arrested. So for him to come and answer, did you do this or you didn't do this? But investigations are still ongoing. Yahaya Bello, as of now, is still nowhere to be found. So as this episode unfolds, I have my guest in the presence of Mr. Larry Toluhi, who will be joining us via Zoom, and then we'll be throwing more light on this aspects, whether the EFCC are doing their job well, whether Yahaya Bello is actually guilty or not guilty, or what angles are the EFCC supposed to take. If just in case you don't know, the EFCC has been in existence since the past 2 decades. They've been in existence since 2004, and then they are requiring the means of the army to join in this arrest. So we'll be going on a quick break, and when we come back, our guests will be with us, hopefully, and then we'll get the ball rolling. You just stay with us, we'll be right back. You're welcome back to the most exciting talk show in West Africa, Midday Discourse. If you're just joining us, this is Midday Discourse, and we're live from the nation's capital, Abuja. My name is Samuel Odi. Like I said before we went on the break, we'll be looking at the EFCC and Yahaya Bello and its my privilege to let you know that our guest has joined us in the presence of Larry Toluhi. Yes, Mr. Larry Toluhi, good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good afternoon, Sam. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, it's always good to have you on Midday Discourse.
Same here. Same here. It's always good to be part of the conversation and to have a good discourse with our people.
Yes. So we've been looking at this issue within the EFCC and Yaya Bello. It's been a back-to-back kind of issue, counter charge from the courts, from the EFCC appealing and then getting their appeal countered. So I want to know, like, we really want to know, who do we blame for this spectacle witness that in the bid to arrest the former governor of Kogi State?
Hmm. It's I must say it's pathetic, right? It is very pathetic that we are in this conundrum because the judiciary. It's when you see the judiciary the way they are playing out things, we bleed, and for someone like us, it heartbroken because yesterday we saw what play out. Was it yesterday or the first or Tuesday? I can okay. I think it's
We started
yesterday
building
when we,
from Tuesday, then Wednesday,
from
then
Tuesday. Yes,
Thursday. Yeah.
yeah, from Tuesday. You know the way it went on Tuesday, Wednesday. It is pathetic when the EFCC had what they call it when the EFCC had federal high court issue a warrant of arrest, and the Kogi State governor in person of Usman Ododo going to shop for a kangaroo court injunction from Kogi State High Court to restrain the FCC from prosecuting the governor, which for me, and which I know that the Judiciary Commission, the NJC, has been frowning against because we know both the State High Court and the Federal High Court are court of coordinate jurisdiction. That shouldn't have happened to give contrary judgment. That happened before the government decided to go to uh, Benghazi streets to
Mm.
whisk away the governor and the former governor in all that. So now the EFCC had gone to appeal. We have seen the counter appeal. All these things happening. The judiciary needs to clean its house and do what is needful and stop giving this contrary judgment and all that because whether you like it or not, they all will be standing on the injunction they have to do what they want to do or to carry out what they want to carry out and all that. But in any which way, in these past days or these past weeks, I've been proud of the FCC. Like, the last time we spoke, I told you the FCC have been doing some kind of thing.
Mm.
And I think I just hope they will go through with what they are going through because, look, if Yaya Bello claim not to be innocent and his claim is innocent, well, shadow, you are innocent until proven guilty. But I don't think there's anything wrong in him honoring the EFCC invites. Go present himself, go to the court, as the case may be. Go just present himself, defend himself, get good his lawyers, and let them do the needful.
Okay, let them do them. Okay, okay, yes, because now, like you said, there have been a lot of counter claims and or like arrest warrants being released and then not being released, counter all of that. So, do you think that the mode of operation by the anti-graft need to be more rigid? Like, do you think it should be more rigid do you think they should be more rigid with their approach towards this arrest?
Yes, they need to be more rigid because nobody's above the law. Nobody is really above the law. The former governor is being charged, is being alleged to have done something. He should present himself and they should get him. They should find a way to get him to legally, they should legally find a way to get him to the court of law to defend himself, to prosecute him. And if found guilty, he should be charged. If found guilty, and if he's found not guilty, he should be free. So EFCC shouldn't allow anybody to bamboozle them or anybody to try to play hard one on them. They
Mm,
should go for him.
mm. Okay. Okay. How would you describe the call to the president by Yaya Bello, in order to call the EFCC to order?
Is it not funny? What does he want the president to do? The president to jettison the law of the land. So why is he telling the president to call EFCC to order? Has EFCC done anything wrong in alleging they have their document, they have their evidences? He should go and give them counter evidences to clear his name. Look, a man with integrity should not be calling people to let them not persecute him. He should be willing, he should be happy to go to the court of law and clear his name. That is what he should be doing. Why is he calling the president? After all, he said he's the white lion. Is he not the lion again? So why is the lion scared of the eagle? He should go and do what he needs to do.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, he needs to go and do. Well, now let's look at the EFCC. Now we are still going to come back to the judiciary and other sectors. Let's look at the EFCC. Now, for the past 20 years, EFCC has been in existence. Okay. Do you think the failure of the EFCC to make the arrest after the show is a slap on the agency's face? You know, a whole lot of investment has been put into the EFCC to, counter crime and, fight corruption. Them now not being able to secure this arrest, do you think it's a slap on the agency's face?
It's not a slap on the agency's face. It is a slap on the whole Nigeria as a whole. It's a slap on Nigerians that a government, a federal agency had a warrant of arrest from a competent court of law and they went for the arrest. And the sitting governor, because he felt he had immunity, we go and obstruct justice because that was what the governor of Kogi State, Usman Ahmed Ododo, did by
Mm,
obstructing justice and not letting a federal agency carry out its lawful duty. So it is an insult on the whole of Nigerians. It's an insult on the whole of Kogites, and it's an insult on the democracy of Nigeria, and it's an insult on the mandate of the people of Kogi State.
mm. So, like here in Nigeria, we are operating under the same democratic system, just like US. So a sitting governor in the United States now can, be prosecuted and arrested if he breaches any of the law of the land. So now, we here now in Nigeria that are adopting the same democratic system, we can't apply that to a sitting governor. Do you think it's one of the reasons why Mr. Usman Dodo was able to like just go into Mr. Yaya Bello's house with full confidence to wake him away? Do you think we are placing
No,
so much protection or immunity on our governors?
yeah, I get what you say. Yes, we are practicing the American democracy. Nigeria took the ones that were beneficial to them, and some of the one they didn't take it fully. The normal thing we do.
Mm,
We have the immunity on the executive arm, and that is what is happening. So, because they have the immunity, and there is immunity, that's why he did what he did. But he has forgotten that just some few months ago, Ayabili also had immunity, and the immunity is gone.
mm.
So let him continue. Let Usman Dodo continue. The best he can get is 8 years, which I don't even see him even complete this 4 years because it's obvious he has shown the people that he doesn't have respect for the rule of law. And the move he made on Wednesday is one of the most childish political move anybody would make. He
Mm.
miscalculated whoever advised him to do that, and he did that. He has shown that he had no understanding, basic understanding of politics 101. So he will be surprised that the immunity will soon go. So I'm not surprised. They all just get drunk when they get there. They get drunk, power drunk rather, when they get there and they do all kind of things, forgetting that it is not for forever. It's just for a period of time.
But do you think this system should be reviewed about the fact that immunity is placed on governors who are in power? Because it seems that them having immunity, they are using it to, prevent justice or some certain kind of implications to be made, given the fact that they have immunity and nobody can stop a sitting governor's convoy.
Yeah, It's not just the governor, even to the president. If you all remember that the late President Ahmed Umar Musa Yar'Adua wanted the immunity to be removed from of the president, the vice president, governor, and deputy governor. It is a law that needs to be passed, so it needs to go through the legislative and all that. It can't be, but for some reasons they wouldn't want to put it there or they wouldn't want to remove it. So as it is, we still have it. Maybe we should continue with it, or maybe we should remove it. It's not for me to say, but for me, I will advise they remove it, but it is there now, so let it still be there.
It's actually, well, we just hope that the legislators, look into it and then take this as like an example to see what is actually costing the country, at this point. Okay, but how do you describe the declaration of Yaya Bello being wanted by the EFCC yesterday?
A laudable move, the right move, and a right move in the right direction for me, because he's been evasive. He's been trying to avoid prosecution. He's been dodging. He's been playing hide and seek. So they need to declare him wanted. If he had done what he needs to do as a man of integrity, as a man that has integrity like he claimed, and as a lion that he claimed to be, being king of the jungle. I don't know why he's scared of eagles and refusing to go. He called himself a lion, yet he couldn't even live up to being the lion and the name he claimed and the title he gave himself. So it is pathetic. They should declare him wanted. In fact, they should send these pictures to Interpol and everyone.
So should he just be arrested? Because now they said his nephew is also among those that laundered the money. So do you think his nephew, sorry, should be in line of this arrest as well? Should be among the first persons to be arrested?
Don't forget that his nephew is presently the chief of staff to the governor. So you see, the guy is probably hiding away too in the government house. So they are all hiding. So it is, if it's saying, it has already shown that it's a flight risk. So I think when they finally get him, we plead with the court not to grant him bail until his case is over, because he has shown that he's a flight risk by refusing to turn up for ordinary invitation and investigation. It means if he's by the time they get him to court of law and they decide to grant him bail, it's a flight risk.
Okay, it's actually a freight risk because all of these persons have been to so many places and obviously would have visas at their beck and call to just go anywhere they want to go to. So how do we take this now? Who do we blame now for the aspect of the fact that him risking away by the governor? Who do we hold responsible? Because, and again, this is $80.2 billion we're talking about. Is there a way only Yaya Bello would be able to, siphon all this money? Wouldn't he probably connived with, civil servants? And why is ICPC not even getting involved with all of this?
I think the EFCC is still the only person to get involved now, you see, because if ICPC is getting involved, there might be a clash in the investigation which will hinder the progress. I think I like the way they're approaching it. But it's not about if Yaya Bello, it's not about whether it's an allegation, right? It's still been alleged and it's an allegation. So I want to leave it at that. So it's 80.2 billion are good and fine. So whether others are involved or not, he is the principal suspect, right? So because he's the principal suspect, I'm sure what they are trying to do is get the principal suspects to come in, speak to them, investigate, do their findings, and if he's found wanting, you might need to name his accomplice and all that. I guess that's what they are trying to do. So I think they are going about it the right way.
Okay. So the ICPC can just hold off and probably when they are needed, they'll get called upon. But who do we blame now for him successfully just leaving his residence? Should the governor be held totally responsible for that? That is Governor Usman Dodo.
Yeah, Governor Usman Ahmed Ododo should be held responsible because he knew he's the one. He's the one that it is as Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo that decided to break the law because he felt he had immunity and because he felt he had a security aid to do all he wants to do. And instead of him to stay in Kogi State and administer governance to the people of Kogi State, which had given him their mandate, and he didn't do that. He left Lokoja on the day where they needed to be in Lokoja and do things, and decided to go all the way to Abuja to go and whisk away the former governor, who happened to be his benefactor, and his cousin, as some people believe it is. So I think that is just what is happening. And you see, this is the man that his case is his position is not even sealed yet. He's already displaying arrogance. He's already displaying such arrogance and total disdain and lack of respect for rule of law, and showing that he does not want to respect the judicial system of Nigeria. He does not have respect for the constituted authority. He does not have respect for the constitution of the country. That is the man that is leading my people in Kogi State. It is pathetic, and I'm totally ashamed of to call him my governor.
Wow, that's a very sad commentary there. But what's your reaction to the IG of police, withdrawing the police officers assigned to Yaya Bello?
Good move, decisive move. Nobody is above the law. That is what we expected, and I'm so proud of it. I've not said this in a long while, but I'm so proud of what the Nigerian police have done, because nobody is above the law. And that is how to go. People need to look for every action. There is a counter reaction, and for every action there is the consequences. That is it. They should withdraw it.
Okay, that's actually a very, very good move, because I was impressed. When I saw the report, I was very happy for that to happen. And again, a lot of persons in Kogi are also excited about that. But for the past 8 years, what is a major thing that Yaya Bello has done for the people of Kogi State while he was governor of Kogi State?
Pain. That's the only thing he has done. He had given to people. Do you know the thousands of Kogites that died? Both present civil servants and pensioner. They died when he couldn't just stop doing screening. He said he was screening and he was screening. You see people of level 14, level 15 officers not being able to buy their medication, about diabetes medication, hypertension medication, and they died. And this man kept on saying he's screening, and he never finished the screening. And when he finally finished the screening, a level 17 officer will be paid 4,000 will be paying 4,000, less than 1,000 in a month. See, there was pain, there was agony, because he came and he thought Kogi was a jungle. That's why he gave himself the name White Lion, because he thought Kogi was a jungle and he wanted to be the king of the jungle. So that is why it's pathetic. And now the king of the jungle is scared to go to the jungle. If I were him, I would go to the jungle and roar and take dominion and take control. But rather, he's hiding. He's hiding under the protection of, I don't know. I really don't want to say things that, but it is painful, because this is a man that brought about pain, tears, sorrow to the people of Kogi State. And now he couldn't even do the needful.
He was once celebrated as the youngest governor in Nigeria, and a whole lot of expectations were placed on him. Do you think those expectations placed on him was one of the reasons why he failed as a governor while he was still governor of Kogi State?
No, he was the youngest governor in his time. He wasn't younger. Yes, he did his 41st birthday in the government house, so he was 40 when he became a governor. But he wasn't the youngest governor ever. Donald Duke was younger than that when he became governor of Akwa Ibom in 1999. And we all saw what Donald Duke did in Cross River, rather. We all saw what Donald Duke the Calabar, the Calabar Carnival is still being celebrated to today.
Celebrated,
We saw
yes.
it in Napa. So that is not about expectation of being young. What you should have done as a young governor, the youngest governor, was to be innovative and let them know that the Nigerian young people are ready for governance. Rather, he was deaf, parading himself with so much pride and arrogance, and he thought he was in the jungle, he thought he was the army, he thought he was the lion, and he got way over his head, and he continually embarked on white elephant project, like wanting to be the president of Nigeria, wasted a lot of Kogi state money on that. After that, he wanted to be the chairman of APC. This guy really does not, he's not keeping touch with reality. He's not keeping touch with reality. He lived in his own and is still living in his own kind of world. His arrogance is appalling, and that is to say the least. And those are the kind of things. So there was no pressure on him. Rather, what I expected someone like him to have done, because he came into power. He's a lucky guy. You can't take it away from him. He became a governor with less than 200 votes. Don't forget, he wrote. If I were him, this is a man that is a product of the judiciary.
Mm,
Uh, if I were him, because I'm a product of the judiciary, I will always respect the judiciary. Rather, is not respecting the judiciary, is insulting the judiciary with his act. You see, he came in because there was strategy, and he became what he became. And that was a time when the state was yearning for power shift, and he became the first non-Igala man to become the governor of Kogi State. I would have expected him to perform on the basis of that, and on the basis that he's a young person.
mm,
Rather, he performed woefully. His failure is abysmal. So let us not, to say the least.
okay. The president now has said nothing about this whole, issues going on with the EFCC and Yahya Bello. So do you think the president, like his silence from the president, is suggested as any support or otherwise?
Okay, what do you expect the president to say? The president to say he shouldn't be persecuted, or the president to say he's a sacred cow? There's no sacred cow. Nobody's above the law. He's a citizen. A citizen. Yahya Bello is no more the governor of Kogi State. He's a citizen. He should go and face the law. What does he want the president to do? Does it think himself more important than any other person in the world? Does he have two heads or three heads? He has just one head and is a citizen like every other person. So I know the president probably just don't want to just comment on this because he had no business to comment, and it would be good if he does not comment. He should let Yahya Bello face his music. He played the music, let him dance to it.
Mm. Oh, okay. Now let's look at the EFCC. Now the EFCC has been in existence for the past two decades, and then we've had series of change and different chairpersons. Now we have who is the current chairperson of the EFCC, the person of Olukayode. What can you say has been, so far he has just been the chairman for the past few months now. What can you say so far about the way he's approaching the issues of corruption in our country?
He's showing he's showing flashes of ray of hope, because for the first time we saw people he picked up a minister, a civil minister
Yeah.
and all that. And yeah, there have been a lot of things. I've always had issue with EFCC because most times they go to arrest before they do their findings and do their investigation.
Mm.
But lately they've been trying to do something. So if I'm to rate Kyle, if I'm to rate Mr. Kyle, they are rating for now, with what he's done so far, 8 over 10, he's been doing some things, he's been doing his work. They are becoming a little bit more professional as we expected them to be, and all that, and they have been showing a lot of tenacity in their drive to fight corruption, which is good. So they should continue.
So do you think they waited so long before going to arrest Yaya Bello?
No, they didn't wait. For me, you can actually investigate for 5 years. I don't care. See, look, investigation is not like and going to the court of law is not about it's about proving beyond reasonable doubt. So they didn't wait for so long, as far as I'm concerned. They needed to tidy up. They needed to cross all their T's and dot all their I's and do what they need to do and go when they go. And when they are going, they know they have their case airtight. So I'm sure. So they didn't go to, and that's what FCC was doing before, the rushing before, and they end up not having anything. But now I think they are trying to tidy up everything, and that is why the supposed white lion is scared of the eagle now.
There's been a lot of investment that has been done, in the EFCC. So what's your reaction to the fact that the EFCC wants to team up with Nigerian Army to be able to arrest one man called Yaya Bello?
Because they need to bring it. Look, for everyone that has committed, look, if you are alleged to have committed crime, the most honorable thing to do is to come and defend yourself. This is the same Yaya Bello that said he wants to be president of Nigeria. So if he had become, if by some mistake he had become the president of Nigeria, I guess he's going to be doing things even worse than the worst tyrants in the world. This is the same man that wants to be president. See, if any man or anyone has done anything, the appropriate quarters should take the right move to get him to answer to the questions. So if they need the Nigerian army, this had happened before, don't forget, because people will tell you just immediately after Akpabio left, we know that the FCC forcefully got into the Akwa Ibom government house. Don't really forget that. Seeing them, they find a way to get into Senator Rochas Okorocha's house. Look, if they need to involve the Nigerian army to fish out the supposed white lion in the person of citizen Yaya Aduza Bello, they should do that.
They should do that. Okay. So with all the investment, do you think the EFCC is well equipped? Because now, in terms of, if you're looking at experience and other series of arrests that they've made before now in countering corruption, don't you think they are equipped enough to handle just one citizen themselves?
If the citizen is in his house or somewhere, but if citizen is hiding, according to them, in Kogi State Government House, which is Lugard House in Lokoja, the FCC need the reinforcement, and that is the truth. Don't forget, the government house is a seat of power. So they need reinforcement. Look, when they went to Zone 4, they didn't go with the army, they went as their operatives. But if Yaya Bello is in government house, they must have had their intel, they must have their information to know he's in government house. They need reinforcement to pick him up in government house. The painful thing is, it's pathetic, because why they want to carry out their duty, if they involve the military, there might be exchange of gunshot and all that. There might be destruction of properties. There might be loss of life, which I expected someone that called himself the governor of Kogi State, in person of Ahmed Usman Ududu, to willingly tell Yaya Bello. In fact, if I were him, I would drive Yaya Bello to the EFCC office and get him the best of lawyers. That is what he should have done, not whisk him away.
Okay, Mr. Larry, can we'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, the discourse continues.
Thank you.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Midday Discourse on Global Television, and we've been having a conversation with Mr. Larry Toluhi, who is joining us via Zoom all the way from the United Kingdom. Mr. Larry, are you still there?
Yeah, thank you. I'm here.
All right, sir. So, what do you think other security agencies now should do in able to be able to apprehend Mr. Yaya Bello?
They should keep gathering their intelligence because this is intelligent gathering period now. Since
Mostly the immigration officers.
no, the immigration. Look, I saw a memo yesterday that flagged his passport. I don't know. Maybe you've seen it. It's flying everywhere, and they flagged his passport and all that. So they need to watch our borders, the sea border, the land border, the air border. They should be on the search, on the lookout for him, and they should just keep doing what they need to do, gather their intelligence, uh, be at alert, and ensure that he does not escape justice.
Okay. How do you think the arrest of the former Kogi State governor is going to, affect? So how, in the angle I'm looking at now is, other governors that might be on the EFCC's watch list. How do you think they can go about, getting these men arraigned without causing so much havoc and maybe having to go through a shootout before they can get anybody that's on their watch list?
You know, yes, look, the question you've asked, right? It's for me, it's delicate, but EFCC just continue doing what they are doing presently, do their thorough investigation, ensure that they've gathered all the information they need, and they go out, get their warrant of arrest. I think they should be getting their warrant of arrest, which they did, and go for these guys. But operational hazards will happen, operational unplanned for things will happen. When these things happen, they should go back, re-strategize, and continue to do what they are doing. That's just the only way they can predict how people react to them, or how people try to prevent them from doing their duties.
Okay. Okay, so the EFCC are actually on the right track now with everything that they are doing. So there's a report actually reaching me right now. Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has faulted former Kogi State Governor Yaya Bello's claim that Economic and Financial Crimes Commission disobeyed the order by Kogi State High Court by seeking an arrest to arraign him before the federal court sitting in Abuja. So do you think he defaulted the order from Kogi State? This is coming from a son now, Mr. Femi Falana. Do you
Yes,
think he defaulted? Yes.
Mr. Femi Falana is spot on. So I'll tell you, look, a clear conscience, fear no accusation, so they say. So why is Yaya Bello running scatter? Look, rather Yaya Bello should be the one, him and the judge that gave that judgment in Kogi State High Court should be disciplined. The judge should be disciplined by the NJC, because we know that the Federal High Court had given the judgment which issued the warrant of arrest for citizen Yaya Adoza Bello. Now, for Ahmedu Dudu to go to Kogi State High Court and procure a kangaroo judgment restraining the EFCC from persecuting and from investigating Yaya Bello. Don't forget that the State High Court and the Federal High Court, they are courts of same jurisdiction, or coordinate jurisdiction as they call it in law, right? They have the same thing, so they shouldn't be giving contrary judgment. And the High Court in Lokoja knows that the High Court in Abuja had given a judgment on that, which issued the warrant of arrest. So the judge that signed that should be disciplined, so that to deter other judges that want to keep doing all these things and giving the judiciary a bad light, and painting the judiciary in a bad light.
Okay. The judicial system now, most of the times a whole lot of court cases get adjourned and adjourned and adjourned, and Nigerians most of the times tend to get tired. What do you think should be done about our judicial system in order so that we wouldn't be having incidents like this, where a court in Abuja and the Federal Capital Territory will give an order and a judgment, and then the one in the state will counter it. Do you think that the government or the governor sitting in that state has a major role to play? And if so, why don't we apply or adopt what former President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua said, God bless his soul, about taking away most of these immunities from this sitting governor, so law and order would, fly without having hitches?
Yeah, the good thing is one of the first thing we can do is to ensure that the judiciary has complete autonomy from the executive with that state at federal level. That is very important. Another thing is, I think, maybe the judiciary arms of Nigeria, the judiciary arm should go governance, judiciary arm of governance should go IT. They need to go in the way of the IT and try and maybe get their system real-time, on time, online, so that when they can get all these cases, when these cases come in, it goes into a portal, and the portal circulates. Not even if the internet is good or not, they should be able to find a way to make it circulate that any case, once the case is mentioned, A versus B or D versus Z, it should flag and let you know that a judgment has already been given, or this case has already been instigated or instituted somewhere else. That way, it will help curtail all these kangaroo things and everything and help in the smooth running of this whole thing.
Okay. Mr. Larry, thank you so much for your time. It's always good to have you on Midday Discourse on Global Television, where we appreciate you so much, and this is how much time will permit us to take on today's edition. But any last words, sir, before we let you go?
But yeah, thank you. The last word is a clear conscience, fear no accusation. If you think you've done nothing wrong, there's no need to hide for. And believe me, one thing I've discovered, no one can run away from the government. The longer you run, the more you complicate your case and all that. So the citizen himself should just turn himself and stop this hanky-panky and this hide and seek game. He should turn himself in and everything will go well if he feels he has not done anything wrong.
All right, so if he feels he has done nothing wrong, the lion shouldn't be scared of the eagle. All right. All right, thank you so much, sir, for your time. We appreciate you, Mr. Larry Toluhi.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, so the prosecution named for Governor Bello is one of the newly introduced count as an accomplice, but not as a defendant. So there's just so much that's going on, and we hope, he gets to answer to what he's being alleged for. He's been alleged for, abuse of office and misappropriation of funds up to 80.2 billion naira. And this, he's not just alone in this. They mentioned his nephew was mentioned, and it's being said by the EFCC that Mr. Yaya Bello is hiding in the government house over there in Kogi State. So we hope with the joint task force with EFCC and Nigerian Army that we'll be able to arraign him in the person of Mr. Yaya Bello to go answer to himself in the court. That's how much time will permit us to take today on Midday Discourse. My name is Samuel Odi. I'll see you on Monday. Good afternoon. Have a fabulous weekend ahead.